Welcome to the Tesla semi-truck event. I hope you like what you see. What it's like to be in a Tesla truck. This is real time. Okay. Now, at 80,000 pounds max gross vehicle weight, that's the most amount of weight you can carry on a US highway. This is the real-time acceleration of a Tesla Semi. That, on the left, the thing that looks like it's not moving is a diesel truck. Eventually it'll get there. All right. Even with 80,000 pounds pulling max gross, getting 60 miles an hour in 20 seconds. That's what it can do. Now, what about up a hill? Okay, the best diesel trucks can only do 45 miles an hour up a 5% grade. Tesla Semi can do 65 miles an hour up to 5% grade. Well, let's find out. So, 500-mile range. By way of comparison, a Bugatti Chiron, which is a $2 million supercar, has a 0.38 drag coefficient. So it's got a better drag coefficient than a supercar. The bottom of the truck is also completely flat, so the air can flow straight through. These are things that you don't see on any other trucks, and it gives us incredible highway range. It's one of the key factors. So there's a motor on each of the rear wheels, and an independent front suspension, so it's incredibly comfortable to drive this truck. Because this truck has no gears, you're not constantly shifting gears. It has one gear, so it's smooth. It's just like driving a Tesla. It's as though you're driving a Model S or Model X or Model 3. It's just big, and the point of view that you have is also incredible. We put the driver in the center, so the driver's actually in the center of the truck. You're positioned like you're in a race car. You have complete visibility of the road and all the surroundings. You can charge at your origin or destination. So while you're unloading your cargo, you can charge. What about safety? Now, when I say safety, I'm talking about the driver's safety. I'm also talking about other cars on the road. I'm talking about pedestrians, safety for everyone. If you've got 80,000 pounds moving at 60 miles an hour, it's a very dangerous thing. Every truck we sell will have enhanced autopilot as standard. Okay, it'll automatically brake, but it will actually automatically lane keep as well. So even if you're in the truck and you have a medical emergency, the truck will stay in lane and gradually come to a halt and put on the emergencies. If it doesn't hear a response from you, it will actually call emergency services and get an ambulance. It's going to take care of you. It's going to take care of other cars. It's going to take care of pedestrians. This is a massive increase in safety. A few other things about safety. With that central position, you're in a very safe position. Even if you were to collide with another Semi, you have a low center of gravity that gives you really good handling. It means the probability of a rollover is massively reduced because the battery pack is in the floor pan, and rollover risk is dramatically reduced. And perhaps most importantly, jackknifing is usually the worst nightmare of a trucker. The truck will automatically stop jackknifing because it's got independent motors on each wheel, and it'll dynamically adjust the torque on each wheel so that jackknifing is impossible. And that's why we are guaranteeing that this truck will not break down for 1,000,000 miles. Because it has 4 independent motors. You can lose 2 of those 4 motors, and the truck will still keep going. In fact, even if you only have 2 of the 4 motors active, it'll still be a diesel truck. Every time you brake, that kinetic energy of braking goes straight back into the battery pack instead of wearing down a brake pad. So the brake pads basically last forever. You never need to replace brake pads ever. And this is the feature I like best, thermonuclear explosion-proof glass. So actually what's important here is, but nuclear survives a nuclear explosion, or you get a full refund. Actually, this detail matters a lot. This is like sort of normal. It's like we take it for granted if you've got a Model S or Model X or something like that. But this is not normal, actually, for trucks. You have full access to all your truck information. You've got remote diagnostics. You can see what's going on. Preventative maintenance. The truck will actually anticipate when it needs maintenance and inform you ahead of time. It connects with the fleet. So if you're trying to manage a fleet of thousands of trucks, this is also incredibly important. All this data is coming in. You know exactly what's going on. It's going to really help you manage the trucking. The fully accounted for true cost of trucking, a diesel truck will be 20% more expensive than a Tesla Semi per mile. So we'll beat a diesel truck on economics, day one. And this is a worst case scenario. So it gets better than this. This is the worst case scenario comparison. This is taking max vehicle gross. It's going at 60 miles an hour, and it's assuming $250 gasoline price. We're guaranteeing a 7-cent kilowatt wholesale price. I want to be clear about that. This is real. These are real numbers. It's not just economic suicide to use one diesel truck. It's economic suicide for rail. This beats rail. And that defeats rail in a convoy scenario. And production begins 2019. So if you order now, get the truck in 2 years. All right.